start recording and I'll wait for you. It's okay. And here we go. Do you want me to press it? Because I can press it if you like.
Yeah.
There we go. Share, but you can leaf through it. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you for including this information. That's good because then I remember. So yes, your building, before we even start, your building, do you think you want it to be very, very square? Because it's these sticks, it could have rounded corners. Yan Yi, we've started with Han just because she's here. There you go. And then we'll. Anyway. So, okay, show us. Ooh, it's little. I have to go zooming in. The Precedent Museum. Okay. So you were looking at very large museums. Can you tell me why you chose them?
Yeah, because it has large window, so people inside can see a large view outside. Yeah, because my site has a boundary in front of the site, so I can open a large window so people can see it. Like
okay.
President, yeah.
Okay, these are little ones. Can you show me which precedent you think you like the most? Because they're very little. Because I'll screenshot the one that you like the most. Just the kinds of relationships that there are.
Yeah, I like the first one, the Museum Zero in United States.
Okay, so I'm going to screenshot that one because if I do that, you watch, I'm just going to load that in and then we can see it big. And have you got a bigger, just while I'm loading that in, have you got a bigger plan, site plan, just your site? Because that's what we want to talk about. Look at your site and we're going to sort of superimpose a bubble diagram on your site.
Yeah, the bubble diagram in page 2, I put it in the site, like the dimension of the site.
Okay, but what I want to see is, I'm just going to load that one. Have you got a diagram of your site? I'm just looking.
No, I haven't.
Hang on. I'm just trying to find your mid-semester because then I can see it. Hang on. Hang on. Here we go. I've got your mid-semester. And I'm just going to look at your mid-semester. Here we go. I've got... Oh, okay. So here we go. So I'm just going to have to talk just a little bit while I here we go. I've just got to share the slides. I've got to load up got to snuff this and load up. It's uploading, just the bubble diagram. And here we go. It's coming. Here we are. There now. No, it's the wrong one. It'll be this one. Here we go. So can you see that's big? So if we look at the relationships, you enter here, and there are gallery. Oh, okay, there's lots of different galleries. Okay, on the outside of the building. Can you see there's a number of different gallery spaces? And can you tell me what the other spaces are? I just can't read it, that's all.
Yeah, the red one is lobby. The yellow is like room or cafe. And the green one is office.
Offices, okay.
The purple
And what are these
is
little ones? These
bathroom,
little ones.
bathroom and storage.
Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, we're just looking at as a series of, you know, everything relative to this entry here. And in a way, if these are storage, sorry, that this is, it almost implies that you get deliveries here because that's where you've got storage. So I just want to compare that to your site. And if I look at your site, here we go. I'm just going to now just get a blackboard. Hang on. Fairway whiteboard. So your site, here we go. If I sort of draw it, your site, you've got this sort of roundabout, is that right? And your site is sort of like this, like so. And then there's a very, very large road there and there. And of course, north is like that. So south is, that's where the sun's coming from. North is up the page. So the sun is sort of, I'm telling myself because I have to keep telling myself this. The sun's coming from the south. So on this drawing, where do you think actually food and coffee shops, I can see houses. Where do you think, can you draw on this diagram, where do you think people would be entering from? And on your site, see what you've drawn a site location. Okay. And what you kind of did already, I'm going to do it in another colour. Oh, come back, pencil. I'm going to draw it in black. You said that, okay, my building is roughly going to be here. Something like, you just put it in the middle of the site, for example. And can you see, now is the time to decide where exactly do we put it? Because can you tell me, where do you think people will be entering the building from? Are they in Vietnam going to drive there, or do they walk there, or do they catch a bus? Where do they enter that site from? You see?
Yeah, I think this one and...
Oh, okay. That one and that one. Because you see, it's possible if you wanted to. I mean, yes, there's a footpath. Can you see? There is going to be a footpath. There we go. There's my very bad footpath. Very, very bad. Whoops. Bit hard to draw. And can you see that it's possible? I'm now going to be pink. If you wanted to, but yours, you've got the blocks. I can see why you've done a box, because you've sort of got the ice cube building, haven't you? It's like a, you know, that's what yours, is that right? Is that yours? What does yours, I've got to now look at your building. Here we go. I've just got to look at, no, sorry, I've got it wrong. That's someone else. That was someone else. Yours could be, because you've got these poles with these things on, you can make a rounded shape. So, you know, if you wanted to, your building could be here. Can you see that it's very welcoming? It could be something that's like this if you wanted to, you know, because everybody is entering from here, and that's the north. Well, you get sun from the, anyway, that makes it tricky. That's a suggestion. Or that, yes, indeed, you do just make your building a cube. You know, what do you think you want to do with your building? Because it can be much closer to the roundabout, if that's where you think people will enter, because the cars, they can come, I'm going to do the cars in green, they can drive and park behind and then park behind, you see? It's not very interesting to look at a car park. It's more interesting to look at your building, and the cars are just, you know, behind. Does that make sense?
Yeah, put the car park behind the building.
Yes,
and
that's
the enter, I can make a park, a small park or garden.
That's right. So you can make a small park down, a car park down here, and just move your building further up. And so what that means is that when we look and this is, it's going to become obvious with everybody what I'm going to be doing. Screenshot that because I'm going to get out of that. Not that that's that brilliant, but so if you go click, I'm going to stop that one now. And if we then go back to understanding your bubble diagram, here we are. I have to find it. Here, can you see we now can look at this bubble diagram with new eyes. And I'm going to get rid of the annotations because we can sort of say, well, actually on this site, I hate how it goes straight into paintbrush. I want pencil. We can say that, there we go, that on your site in red, here is, oh, and I don't want the paintbrush. That's the footpath. Kind of here is the footpath. Up here, and it's, can you see how your lobby is, yes, that's right, you're going to enter from here. Your lobby is going to be here. And it might be that your storage rooms, can you see what I'm trying to do is draw it. I'm trying to do drawing, not brush. Sometimes Collaborate Ultra is playing up. That you're going to enter, you'll have your lobby here, and you might have your exhibitions sort of here, mainly here, because and big here, because this is where you see it, whereas all of the storage, you know, the not so, you're not so interesting things might be actually here. Sorry, storage back there. Can you see sort of what we're doing? So that if we went, actually, I'm now going to get out of this because we've gone a little bit over time. But yes, what I needed to do, and this is for everybody who's listening, have a site plan, because that's what we're looking. We're sort of starting to, on the site plan, I'm going to go back to your site plan if I can find it. Oh, where is it? No, it's not there. It is. It's not this. Yes, we need to have all this information in one spot. And where is it? I can't find it. I cannot find it. It was, oh no, hang on, it's the print screen. I'm just trying to find the screenshot. There was another screenshot. No, that was just on the, here we go. It was just on the blank whiteboard. That's why I can't find it. So it's like, if I can just get rid of this, if we look at the site relationships that are on your site, what you've got to do is look at the relationships again and put the bubble diagram exactly on the site. And so, you know, you've got the round bit there, you've got that street there, you've got the road there. I've drawn it very badly. There's your site. Somewhere closer to here, and I don't know whether your building is going to be this shape. It could be, and everyone just parks from there. Can you see how that's sort of quite pretty? Or whether it's some sort of other shape. But it's going to be, in terms of your bubble diagram, you're going to, I'm going to try and do it in black. Here we go. That you're going to enter from the street, and it's not, come on, become black. Enter from the street. Here is the lobby. You might then have the cafe off to one side. Can you see? You want to see the cafe. And, you know, maybe here starts all of the gallery things so that at night time you see all of the gallery things. And meanwhile, because you know, the car park's here, that here, I'm going to draw it badly. Here you put those not so interesting things that you don't want to see. Can you see what we've done? Does this now make sense? Does this make sense?
Opposite the gallery space is bathroom or storage or office, right?
Yes, so the storage and the bathroom, which are not very interesting at all. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is what we're going to, if you look at the other people, you'll sort of get the hang of what we're doing today. That we're getting those relationships and then putting those same relationships, but in a way that makes sense to the site, because you want to go, where do people enter? That's the lobby. and then the cloakroom is off that. The toilets don't need to be, you know, they're sort of at the back because they don't need to be seen. They're not special. Storage isn't special. But, you know, it's kind of nice from the road to see inside the gallery as well. And if we go, what's sort of nice, if that is north is up the page, there's north for you. Then if we go in, I'm going to do it in green, and here is south, that's where the sun, and you are, oh yes, you have the sun shining from the north in winter and the south. Yes, because you're in the tropics, so you just need a very large overhang. And that's quite nice because your ceramic facade is going to be here, and it's sort of going to be on this side here, you know, to the neighbour. But yes, it's a tricky site because of the circle. It's like, it doesn't have to follow this shape. You might try a few versions. It might follow that shape. It's just that you could do that. Just because it's right up front, you will then see it. You could do that. Or it could be, and I'm just going to do it in blue, you know, it could just be just set back like that. That will still be nice, but if you set it back, that is quite nice. That might be easier to do it that sort of a shape, but just have the cars back here, so that everybody enters from here, but your deliveries will come from the back. So to the cafe, delivering things, you know, you really want to make it that this here that I'm scribbling on, this is important, an entry, and that is important, you know, these two sides. So on those sides, you put those fancy things that you want people to see. And that will be very nice. This facade here, the east and the west need that ceramic facade because you've got the rising and setting sun. But at this scale, I'm interested that you put in the neighbouring buildings. See, there's a big road there, so we definitely need a facade here, but just put in the buildings here. And this is everybody. We now have to move to a very big plan. So you were the lucky first, hun.
Yeah.
And it will now go quicker because now everybody sees what you've done. Okay. Are you feeling confident to move ahead now?
Yeah. Okay. I think so.
Yeah, I think you will be. And what you want to do by next week is finalise, you know, maybe do 3 or 4, because it's very easy, bubble diagram. It can even be drawn by hand, to do what I would call like a cartoon of a building, because next week is not a tutorial week. It is a lot of theory. And what would be very, very useful is that you've got quite a good idea of what you want to do, so that when I talk about passive solar revision and water technology, because these are all things that everybody has got to add to their buildings, then you've got a cartoon that when I say a cartoon, it's not the final one, it's rough, but you're beginning to make decisions, and it's like you've got to do a scaled bubble diagram like this on your site. Does that make sense? Can you see? It's taking the site conditions and then the relationships of the bubble diagram, and it's still, they're bubbles and circles and things like that, but from that, the next thing is that your bubble diagram kind of becomes a plan. You know, that's how we start.
Yeah.
Okay. So next is Yan Yi. Thank you. Yan Yi, here we go. I think we've got yours up already. I'm just going to, and I just took a little bit longer just because this was the first one, and I'm now going to have to time myself. There we go, which is a bit unfortunate. I don't like timing myself, but there we are. Oh, okay, there's two things. All right, so I'm going to actually, Yanyi, start with your site. Here we go, and I'm just going to press timer. And I know your building because your site has that existing pavilion, isn't it? So we already know that when we look at your, here it is, it's in here. And now Collaborate Ultra is behaving. So it's almost like, yes, we know where that is. Can you draw on here? Where do you think? Okay, so here is a park. Does that mean P for car park? Yes. So people park there. I've just car park there.
Yep.
So they will park there and then walk down. But where do you think, in terms of, because there's an existing building there, and then you're going to extend it sort of down here. Is that right? We're doing it very little. So where do most people, like where's the bus stop? This says bus stop here. Where do most people enter from? Can you?
They're from here.
From there, okay.
And also here. Because here is a car park, so they want to cross the road.
Okay, so what we can say is that if this is the existing hall, and you're then going to do some kind of an extension, here we go, you're going to do something like this, it's very likely that there's going to be a gap so that people can go into the hall and then they can go into yours. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
And the sun is shining from the south, and so which is very interesting, that the east here, oh, very bad drawing, and west need their shading, and this also needs an overhang here, the sun shining from here, but these have to have their ceramic facade. So that's very interesting. So if we then go to your PDF and we look at it, and I'm just looking at your work from mid-semester on another screen. Here we go. So here are come on, there we go, the precedents. Okay, that's great. So that looks really lovely, this thing here. You see the glass, but probably in the tropics, you might have to have that shaded, but we can talk about that. But I like that idea, solid, and this might be, instead of glass, this might be laser cut metal or something. I don't know. That's pretty good. Very high ceilings. And, I can see these sort of stacked boxes as a display.
Yes, on the wall.
Yeah, on the walls. I'm just trying to find, here we go. I've got your mid-semester. Oh, yeah, and you're the one. That's right. So these display boxes, that almost looks like your facade. It's mirroring the facade, which is very nice. And, okay, these are quite minimal. Okay, shop souvenir. And here is, all right, in Malaysia. Oh, this is just moving around. But I'm now going to go, this is your one now, isn't it?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay, and so now, and now everybody can see what we're up to today. So what the next stage is to take this set of relationships that you've learned from the other museums, in a way. That you enter, there's reception. Oh, sorry, Collaborate Ultra. This is not me, it's jumping around. Stay. I'm just trying to get an outdoor area, cafe. And see, now I'm going to, just like Hun before, I'm now going to go, okay, let's get serious on your site. Everybody is coming from this side. You see, here is your building, and very likely, because it's long and skinny, you know, you might enter and you might have, I don't know where the cafe multifunction, you know, you might have in this first bit, you're going to have entry, and the cafe might be on the street so that everybody sees it. What else is there? Reception souvenirs, that sort of thing. Reception souvenirs, buying things, and then you go through to your, you know, it might be, I don't know how wide your building is, but whether you go, you know, you're going to have a sort of a series of spaces that go down because it's long and skinny, unless maybe the workshop is here. And, you know, can you see we go down the side and here's gallery, and then here are bigger gallery spaces. But can you see how the next step is to reinterpret this in a long, skinny way, knowing that what we want to see in your building, and we also know, which is very sweet, that you're going to be having your east ceramic facade here, which will look beautiful at night time. You know, you'll see it glowing with the glass behind. And you may or may not have a corridor here, which is a nice thing. Can you see? That's like a public undercover corridor, you know. You'll have a facade here. And what you're going to do now is take this and basically, and it's not rooms yet, you're just blocking it out in different colours. And can you see you've got the toilet right at the end, whereas I would actually put the toilet, I don't know, somewhere more up the front here. You know what I mean? But it's sort of hidden. It's not on the, you know, you don't see it from the street, because when people go to the cafe, they want to go to the toilet. And you want that people can come in and use the toilet, but not sneak into the exhibition. And the outdoor area, you know, maybe there's, you know, there's a lovely, because here's the entrance to the hall as well. Maybe that's a lovely outdoor area for sculptures as well. And so you might even have, here's a building, and you then have a gap with a little corridor. And can you see here, you might have a courtyard, and then your building starts again.